Hello and welcome back everybody. It's Complicated Relationships Reddit Stories. Hope you guys are safe and healthy. Now let's see what the story is about today. What if you find out that your wife came back home after having some fun on a business trip with an incurable disease? What would you do? Let's find out all about it in today's story. Also, if you like what I do, please give this video a thumbs up and do subscribe to the channel.
Back in 2018, at the end of July, my wife left for a quick work trip on a Thursday and flew home Saturday morning. That evening, my wife and I went to my stepdad's birthday dinner, and nothing seemed off, and everything was totally normal. Sunday, we did our typical routine, grocery shopping, errands, and got ready for the work week. The following Monday, when the work week started, everything seemed normal and we did our usual texting throughout the day, but on my way home from work, she texted me and said, "I think I have a yeast infection, and I'm going to get it checked out." I said, that's bad, and I made a joke saying, "Hopefully it's not an STD, haha." She ha-ha'd back, and that was that. A few hours later, before I had seen her, she texted me and said, "Your comment earlier about it being an STD was weird. You don't think I'm cheating on you, do you?" I kind of laughed and texted back, "No, LOL." But something about that comment just put me off a little.
Now, OP is thinking nothing of it and went back to whatever he was doing. He says, looking back, it was red flag number 1.
2 days went by, and she said that it got worse and that she was going back in. I thought to myself, God, I feel bad for her because I know she has had something like this mildly before, but never this bad. When she came home from the doctor for the second time, she said she now has thrush and a severe yeast infection. I remember thinking to myself, what the H is a thrush? And she explained to me that it's a throat infection. I remember joking with her saying, "Well, if you're sick, stay away from me because I don't want to get sick." And I'm so glad I did stay away.
Looking back on all of this, it was red flag number 2.
For the next couple of days and into the weekend, she was pretty much bedridden. She called into work and did some work things from home that she could. I remember not getting too close to her in those handful of days and just kind of looking at her while she was either in bed or on the couch and just feeling bad. She was clearly sick and there wasn't really anything I could do. The following week, as she started to feel better, that's when I noticed something was going on with her. One day I came home from work and she was crying on the couch. I asked her what was wrong and she said that she was going to start seeing a counselor. I was a bit puzzled, but I said, okay, and that if I was going to go too, or if I needed to go.
Now, the wife said no, that she just hasn't been feeling herself and needed to talk to someone. OP said okay. Well, it was red flag number 3.
A few days later, I get out of the shower and see her sitting on the bed crying again. I asked, "What's going on?" She said, "Is this as good as it gets? Is this what we want? Is this what you want? Is this what I want? Is there anything more to life than this?" I remember being a little caught off guard because it took a second to register what she was asking. I didn't really know what to say, and I asked her, like, "What do you mean?" She just responded with a "never mind," and I can't recount what happened after that. Then on August 14th, 2018, at 9 p.m., we are getting in bed and she starts crying again. I ask her, "What's the matter?" And she starts crying even harder. I told her, "I know something's been going on these last couple of weeks, and whatever it is, I just want you to know I love you, and whatever it is, we will work through it." She said, "I can't tell you. If I tell you, you will not want to work it out." It was in that moment I started to feel the butterflies hit my stomach, and I said, "Please tell me." Then she hit me with it. I had a one-night stand. It was in that moment all the red flags, all the little things that were going on in those previous weeks, all came together like one big puzzle.
Now, here is the wife's confession about how it all went down.
On the work trip, when she was through for the day, she went to a bar to have a drink before going back to her hotel. She sent me a picture of the beer she was drinking, and I said the nightly, "Love you, good night." While she was at the bar, she met a guy with the same name as me. Go figure. She ended up talking to him all night and having a few more drinks, and they left the bar around 2 a.m. They went back to his house, and she got busy with him unprotected. I asked her, where did he finish, in or out? She said maybe out, but she doesn't know for sure. Turns out he had an STD and ended up giving it to her, and that yeast infection and thrush in her throat was actually the outbreak.
OP was feeling absolutely heartbroken, devastated, shocked, and in disbelief when she told him everything that had happened.
I was pretty messed up for a few months following D-Day, so much that I had to get on meds for a while to get me straight. I knew something was physically wrong with me because I felt like totally off all the time, and it turns out I had a BP of 149/127. I would say we had a good marriage. We were everyone's favorite couple. My dad even called us Ken and Barbie. I'm just trying to give you some context because we were not dysfunctional or have some serious and obvious marital issue, but I guess what happened kind of proves otherwise. I remember when I told some of my close friends and family, everyone had the same wide-eyed look and the same "are you serious" response. It was a total shock to me as well as everyone that knew us.
Now the wife has been going to a counselor this entire time and digging into everything of what happened.
She told me that she doesn't know why out of all of the times she's been hit on by guys and why she gave in this time. It doesn't really matter though, because what's done is done, and all it takes is one time to bring a marriage crumbling down. She did say he made her feel wanted, gave her attention, and I guess validated her by telling her she was beautiful. If that's all it took, she has her own issues to deal with, and unfortunately, she was old enough to really get them out or say that something was really wrong before it was too late. I understand that it takes two to tango, and I had a role in all of this, but I can't take any responsibility for the way she acted, treated me, our marriage, and the damage she has caused. I can, though, understand where I should have been better as a husband. I should have been more attentive, more present, just more of whatever she felt she needed. Lessons learned.
It's been over a year and a half and they are separated, but still a major roadblock for OP in his life.
I've chosen to walk away from her and our marriage, and I struggle because this is never what I wanted. She wants to stay together and make it work, but for me, the damage is too great. Over this last year and a half, I do think she has tried to do the right things to try to make it work, but with the STD involved, I just can't. With all of what happened and knowing the details, I just can't do it. And yes, when I say I can't, I'm really saying I choose not to. For me, the disrespect is too great, the humility is too much, and an act that was just uncalled for, so selfish. It's said because she knows she ruined a perfectly normal marriage and wishes she could take it back and wants a redo, but she made her choices that night. Plenty of them that led her down that path. I don't think I'll ever understand how she could leave the bar with him, get in his car, drive with him, get to his house, go inside, and go into his bedroom.
There are so many gates, red flashing lights, and ringing bells in all that. It's just unbelievable. But she made all those choices.
I've tried to be aware of my pride and keep it in check, and I ask myself why I cannot move forward with her. For me, it comes down to my values and beliefs, and what has happened goes against everything I believe in and stand for. Lots of cognitive dissonance. Then the whole herpes aspect that will never go away and will always be a constant reminder of what she did, and I choose to not put myself at risk of getting it. Mentally and emotionally, it's just too much. Plus, I just don't see her in the same light or view her the same way. I've lost the respect and admiration I had for her. There are a lot of layers to this onion, and it's crazy how something like this can change your entire life, physically and emotionally.
In the end, OP hopes the story will help you all in some way. Always keep your head straight. You still have a life to live.
Edit. She has said she is willing to do whatever it takes to make things right, and that's admirable, but the icing on the cake, if you will, puts me in a position to not even try, because I know I'm getting an STD from my wife of cheating is not an option for me. I do feel bad not being able to give her a second chance, and I've told her that. For the most part, I think people should get an opportunity to make things right, but for me, it's out of the question on this. She has touched on the fact that we would have to be careful and use protection. This might be too much info, but we never have, and I guess I'm taking a selfish stance on this and saying no. We have to alter our, or my, intimacy because of another man and what she did? Absolutely not. It's heartbreaking. I'm not the most sympathetic or empathetic person because I think people choose their path, but I try to put myself in her position. Man, I don't know how I could live with myself, knowing full well I was the one to ruin my marriage, my life with that person and devastate the person I love the most. I can see how that could make someone unstable in multiple ways, and I witnessed this with her. She was in a bad spot for a while, which I felt sorry for her, and I can tell to this day it still troubles her.
End of the story. Well, Lopi, you seemed like a good level-headed person. I'm sorry you had to go through this. You're right on the mark about all the choices she made that night she shouldn't have made. She could have stopped herself at any time. What worries me is that you only know this time because she got an STD. What if she didn't? Then what? She'd be fine with the choices she made and move on. You made a good decision, and I think you'll be happy for sure in the long run. Good luck to you, OP. Thank you all for listening. Please like, comment and share the video if you enjoyed it. Also, subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon so you will be notified when we upload the next video. Take care.